And both of you are volunteers appointed by the mayor.
Exactly. And one thing before we move on, I just want to kind of share with everyone out there that Angela, we really do consider her one of our superstar committee members. She has come to the committee, brought up wonderful ideas, taken action, done her own thing, taken initiative, and we really appreciate that. And we have great committee members who have been working together for about a year now. And it's hard to believe that last February we met and we said, okay, what's our project? What's our purpose? How are we going to get this done? And slowly things have started coming together, and Angela has just taken her ideas and ran with them, and that's inspired the rest of the committee to get things going as well.
And this is an amazing, it's been going on for about a year or over a year that you all have come together to really spread the word. Now it's coming to fruition now. What does that feel like? I mean, do you feel like you're where you need to be?
I think you always want more time, but I mean, I can speak specifically for our gay and lesbian outreach. We had We Count T-shirts all over the Rainbow Festival. I think we printed up about 5,000 T-shirts, which were really wonderful last October. We've created the first same-sex marketing materials for here in Phoenix. We have posters, we have postcards, and we really have a great grassroots campaign. And what's so exciting, too, is that people care. So when you pick up the phone and you're like, we need your help, and can you help us spread the word? The answer we're getting on the other end is absolutely. We'll do an e-blast. We'll write a story. We'll do whatever. So I think that we're really gaining momentum, and Janey has been a great co-chair and really leading us and keeping us all very cohesive and giving us great direction, so that at the end of the day, hopefully, we're really going to count everybody out there. That's the goal.
And really, your committee, your subcommittee really is important, because this is about counting everyone. So you're specifically targeting and doing initiatives to reach these diverse communities, which everyone, speaking to both of you today, you realize that each of these communities has their own unique challenges, hurdles, and you want the message to get through that this is completely confidential, that it's absolutely vital that you're counted. This is federal dollars that will be coming in to our state, and that could be in the next 10 years up to $4 trillion. I don't even know what that means. That is a lot of money.
It's an awful lot of
zeros. It sounds like a national deficit or something. But that is a lot of money. But getting down to the nitty gritty, that's $400 a person that comes into our community. That this is vital services. So this is not. There's a distinction. This is not National Coming Out Day. This is completely separate. You can be in the closet and counted at the same time.
Should you choose to be, you most certainly can. And National Coming Out Day is in October. You can celebrate that.
That's a whole different topic, but it really is important, because folks have the right to their own, life and their own decisions.
Going back to what Janey was saying, in particular with the Spanish-speaking population, this is really about trust, and this is about putting yourself in a trusting place, so that you honestly fill the census out, and so that you fill the census out. It's incredibly important to all of us as members of this larger community of Phoenix and Arizona that we are all counted. Every single one of us needs to be counted. This does go back to parks. It does go back to senior services. It does go back to public transportation. This goes back to providing a better quality of life for every single one of us in the city.
In addition, it also goes back to representation, because based on the census numbers, then we find out, are we allowed in another Congress seat? So it's representation in Washington, which obviously is something we want. We want Arizona's needs and community needs to be represented in Washington, and also figuring out where sites for new businesses should be determined, how populations that might not be served, maybe they realize, oh, there's a new population here, we need to allocate resources for that population. So it's not just the $400 a year per person, which is huge, it's also representation.
And that is, when you look at $400, that's a lot of money just to any of us. Mm-hmm. And when you look at that multiplied by all of the folks that live specifically within the city of Phoenix and then within Arizona, that's a lot of federal dollars that will be coming into our state, and that's money that can be used to purchase goods, and that's tax base as well. So it really is an ongoing, it's a snowball effect in the best way.
Definitely.
And Angela, speaking about the gay and lesbian community, the biggest hurdle would be that, maybe folks that are in the closet, maybe they don't want to be out.
I think we have the exact same hurdle that every other minority outreach group has, and that is trust. Mm-hmm. And I think that human contact and I think consistency and really letting people know that this is not something that harms us in any way. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is really trying to educate this community on how wonderful, diverse, and powerful we are. And so when we choose to be counted correctly, when we fill out the form in the correct manner as members of same-sex households, we're empowering this community. We're also going to get a much better picture of the scope of this community, which is incredibly important. It comes down to buying power, it comes down to redistricting, and it comes down to having a voice. So I may choose to be, obviously I don't choose to be, but someone within the gay and lesbian community may choose to be private about their sexual orientation at work, and I respect that decision. But this is purely confidential, and this really is about empowering the gay and lesbian community. We are a community that wants to have equality and equal opportunity and equal protection under the law. And the way that we're going to get that is through accountability. And the way we get accountability is by being honest and filling out these forms honestly. This is an absolutely huge, huge opportunity for the gay and lesbian community. And so I would weigh that against my privacy issues. And to me, it's very simple. This is something that you can trust. It's absolutely confidential. And this is an opportunity that this community, I think, has been waiting for.
And it's really being counted in so many ways.
Absolutely.
It's not just the census count, it's not just the dollar count, it's being counted.
It absolutely.
I think elected officials, if they see this is the tally, this is the total count of the gay and lesbian community in my community, they may think twice when developing some of their policies.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I would. If I was an elected official,
and
would realize how large the community was.
Decisions to make sure that you're serving, and I know a lot of the politicians in the city of Phoenix, they want to serve their community, whoever that community may be. You need to know. You need to know who makes up my community, who makes up my council district, who makes up my legislative district.
Mm-hmm. And then how can you best represent them? Once you have the numbers, once you know the facts, then it's figuring out how to best represent them.
And Angela, you mentioned the form, that it won't give a distinction of
there's not
individuals.
A checkbox. No, there's not a checkbox. The important question is the relationship question. So I'll use my household, for example. We'll flip a coin to see who's the head of household over there, I'm sure. It will be my partner or myself. One of us will be the head of household, and then the second person will be under the other adults living in the household. And then we get to fill out the relationship part of it. And at that time, we can say we can choose wife or we can choose unmarried partner.
Okay.
And that's how couples, same-sex couples, will be counted. That will directly be correlated down. And yeah, in 2012, the census is going to come out with some new data on this community, and I feel pretty confident, based on this is their first real actual reporting that's being done, that the numbers are going to go up.
So they would have a count of same-sex partners or unmarried partners.
Yes.
In a household, within a home.
Within a home.
Within a home. So you have to be careful to make sure you're answering it correctly.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't live with your partner, then...
I keep telling everybody that they need to move in just for April 1st. I'm just joking.
Well, I mean, maybe now is the time to do that if they do want to be counted. But you need to make sure that it's recorded accurately to
Absolutely.
Make sure the numbers
you have to be, and I'm joking with that.
You have
to be accurate. But this really, and I think for all of us, it's really about building a trusting relationship within all of our communities. So at the end of the day, while we all have unique messaging that needs to get out there, because each of the groups that we're really communicating with on a daily basis have our own unique hurdles, if you will, what we all have in common is building trust. And this really is about us as leaders within our community, building trust within the communities that we are serving. And we are all a part of the larger Phoenix and Arizona community. So it's about building trust within the entire state, I think.
And Angela, one more time, just for our listeners, if they're just joining us, you are the co-founder of One Community.
Correct.
And that is a web-based service for the gay and lesbian community?
We are an interactive web and events community for gay, lesbian, and allied individuals and businesses.
Where would they go for that?
It's www.one-community.us.
It's the dash community.
It's the dash community.
Remember. Right.
And it's dot.
And Angela, 10 seconds. Any other thoughts?
It's the right thing to do. I mean, seriously, it is that simple. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for your household. It's the right thing for the city. It's the right thing for the state. And on a personal level, I go back to what Janey said. This is about participating. if you don't like the way things are going, you have the opportunity to change them, and the way you change them is through participating. This is about a healthier Phoenix in Arizona.
Very well said. Thank you both for joining us. If you have more information, go to phoenix.gov and you can click on the Census 2010 box. I'm Michael Hammett.